Imagine waking up after 22 years and realizing that the world has forgotten its own story. If that hooked you up, then you should know that that's the story of Wake Up, Carlo, and it hits closer to home than you think. At first glance, Wake Up, Carlo is a show about a boy who wakes up after 22 years and finds himself in a world that is completely changed. It is colorful, wacky, and hilarious, something that's perfect for kids. Yet, when you explore some of its themes deeper, you can see that it's not just a children's show, it's not just a simple children's show. When you analyze Wake Up Carlo deeper, you can see that it is a story about memory, forgetting, and what happens when a society decides to erase its past. Okay? And that hit me hard as a Brazilian. It hit me hard because here's the thing. In Carlos' world, people choose to forget their memories. There's even a memory department where you can leave your past behind. That idea of leaving your past behind is something that hits a little too close to home for us Brazilians. Because you see, Brazil has a habit of sweeping history under the rug. Take our civil and military dictatorship, for example. Unlike other countries in Latin America who sought justice, we Brazilians, we handed out amnesty like candy for everyone. That means that those responsible for horrific human rights violations were forgiven. And what's the result of that? Well, the result is a country that has forgotten much of its recent past. But it goes much deeper than that. Because we Brazilians, we don't just forget about the dictatorship. We also tend to erase our entire history of slavery. Brazil was the last country in the Americas to abolish slavery. And yet, the memory of this horrific past is almost invisible. How is it possible that there seem to be more Holocaust museums across the country than museums dedicated to our slavery history? It's as if we've chosen to remember someone else's history instead of confronting our own. But the show doesn't stop there. There is this wild scene where musicians use their instruments like guitars and saxophones to chop down trees. It's a very absurd, but it makes a sharp point about the hypocrisy of the art world nowadays. Think about it, how many artists claim to be eco-friendly or socially conscious, but live in ways that totally contradict their own messages. It also makes me think that a musician that has forgotten its past has also forgotten how to use its instruments properly. And now, instead of using them to play beautiful songs, they use it to chop down trees and further the ecological devastation. But what really struck me about this show was Carlo himself. Carlo is a kid, stuck in time, but he sees the world with this pure and untamed perspective. Carlo still has that innocence, that refusal to let go of the past, what makes him a symbol of awakening. And here is the thing, that's exactly what we need more of now. Children like Carlo, they are capable of seeing the world with fresh eyes. They are not afraid to ask the hard questions or to point out the things that adults have gone blind to. They haven't been worn down by the weight of practicality or learned to ignore what is inconvenient. Carlo, in all his simplicity and wonder, remind us to hold on to that perspective. So maybe the real lesson here is that we need to see the world more like kids do, with curiosity, honesty, and a refusal to forget what truly matters. Maybe if we did that, we would be better at remembering who we are and what are the mistakes of our past instead of denying where we came from. But there's so much more to Wake Up Carlo than just this. As I always say here in this channel, I don't like to take much more than 5 minutes of your time, and so I would like to invite you to go read the full analysis I made about the show on my blog, The Brazilian Mind. Also, if you like the idea of the show, go watch it. It's on Netflix, and you just have to give it a play to have an amazing time. Wake Up Carlo is a Brazilian TV show from the same creators of Jorel's Brother. That is another great show that I highly recommend that you go watch. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Kisses and hugs from your friend in Brazil.